They've braved and survived 36 hard hours of Hold'em, and now just 8 remain in the battle for the EPT Prague Champions title. The crowd has been behind the Italians all the way. Can a wildcard take it down? Competition is tough. Every player will be pushed to his limit. Who will keep their cool and emerge triumphant?
A 1,000 years ago, Wenceslas sat on his throne here in Prague, and by the end of play today, European poker's latest king will be sworn in. So it's time to get inside and meet our 8 possible heirs to the title.
In seat 1 is Greek Konstantinou Alexiou, an ex-mathematician who took up poker 3 years ago and only plays for fun.
I'm the happiest man in the world, and I think that's all good.
23-year-old student Nazar El Nazar is at the start of a big round-the-world trip and kicked off his travels here in Prague for his EPT debut. Massimo Di Cico is a dentist from Lazio. He's been playing poker for 2 years, and this is only his second live tournament. Francesco Siriani is 53 and a businessman from Italy. Raul is a very experienced high-stakes cash player who also trains a team of top Spanish pros. Andrew Chen is our short stack going into the final table.
I'm only going to have 15 big blinds to start, so we'll see what happens.
Finland's Fredrik Nygård is confident about his first EPT final table.
I think I have everyone pretty much figured out, but and I do have some kind of respect for everybody.
And finally, Salvatore is an amateur player from Valencia. He can't believe he's made it to the final table.
Words cannot begin to describe how excited I am, not just because we've got an EPT final table in front of us, but because I've got Vicky Corrin sitting alongside me.
Words can't begin to describe it, eh? Don't even try.
Big Italian contingent at the final table, and also quite refreshing to see, Vicky, some more mature gentlemen at the final table. It has become a young person's game in recent years.
The old guys are always the best. Just too few of them make the journey.
Action's been folded to the Spanish player Raul Maestre with ace-7 of clubs.
A couple of young pros here, you see, Chen and Maestre.
Pocket 9s for the Finn.
Oh, yeah. I hate that hand, 2 9s. Such a mess, you can't pass it. It's not that strong. You never like the flop. If I was Nygård, I'd certainly want to close it down before any more cards come.
Raise.
Here comes the 3-bet. 100,000 straight. So back to Maestre.
Well, this is again the danger of raising with a weak ace early. Is what do you do with a re-raise? I mean, you could be in really horrible shape against a re-raising hand.
Well, before making that all-in move, he made this huge sigh, which to me indicated, I don't really like this hand, but I feel I've got to make this move.
Or it can mean aces. I mean, you'd be amazed how many players still sigh with misery when they're making the move with aces. Not in this case, of course.
Yeah, looked a little bit too genuine for me. At least he made the move quickly, though. At least he didn't sit there for half an hour before pushing with the ace-7.
You know, they're both in uncomfortable spots here. These are why I personally hate these medium-strength hands. I'd rather have a big hand or absolutely nothing. I'd much rather have, you know, 5, 6. At least you know you're behind.
Called by Nygård, who will go into this race in front. Maestre 2-1 underdog, looking for an ace, really, or running clubs to make a flush. He is the player at risk here.
Nygård called hoping he was in front. It's good news. And even better news, no horrible draws there. The clubs are extinguished.
Just the ace now, which he needs to hit on the turn or river.
Oh, but the heart's there for Nygård. Could come a heart.
Yeah. He's now in front with a pair of aces, but if a heart comes on the river, Nugard still wins the hand.
4 and 9, of course, still there.
It's a heart. He had the best hand before the flop. Outdrawn on the turn, then makes a flush on the river. And we lose our first player from the final table. Raul Maestro goes out in 8th.
The next few hands then saw Salvatore Bonavena cling onto his chip lead, while Andrew Chen began his comeback with a double up through Konstantinos Alexiou. The lucky sevens hold up for Chen. His luck continued with a set of 9s against Bonavena just a few hands later, so the Italian dropped into second place.
One more time.
So Chen thrown another lifeline, pushing him up into 5th position. It's very tight at the top of the table right now, with Konstantinos leading by a whisker.
Yeah, Bonavena second in chips. Blinds 8 and 16, every player posting the ante of 2,000. And that tower of chips, if he knocks that and they go across the line, they're in play.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever it takes to get him in.
Ace-4 for Andrew Chen.
Ooh, another medium-sized pair, medium to strong for Nugard. We saw he was prepared to call an all-in 3-bet with 9s, so 10s certainly aren't going anywhere.
$39,000. Konstantinos Alexiou has Jack 7 and will re-raise from the small blind. A huge re-raise.
I wonder why. An odd time to do it. Out of the small blind with Jack 7 and against a player who's got a lot of chips, so you know he's ooh,
and then called.
Now Alexiou's got to sort of play this out of it. Oh, it's horrible.
Okay, a little bit erratic, the play on this hand so far.
Well, oh no! You see, I was just going to say now he's got a chance to win the pot. Makes a big bet on this king high board. He can pick it up, but no.
So massive bets pre-flop.
Oh, he'll be all right. He's hit the jack.
Checking the flop, and then the jack for Alexiou on the turn, and then he checks.
I think Nugard's got a bet now with the upper deck. No, not doing that. Trying to get the free card to make the straight. But if it goes check-check, then Alexiou's got very lucky.
He thought about checking, then he thought, no, I'm going to bet it.
Why is he betting now?
120,000.
Betting on the river now. I mean, what a strange time to do it. You know, he can check and call. Much more likely that Nugard would bet out with a worse hand than 2 jacks than call with it. What a funny hand. I mean, it's such a counterintuitive bet from Alexiou. Nugard might even call it.
Yeah, 120,000 into a pot that was the better part of 500k.
There's not a lot of hands that Alexiou's river bet makes sense with. I'm reasonably sympathetic to the call there.
Oh, Nugard.
Look, Nugard cannot believe the way his opponent has played the Jack 7.
I don't think anyone can believe it.
Yes.
Yeah, same to you, buddy. Unconventional play, unpredictable play on that hand.
I knew he was weak.
Well, if you knew he was weak, you should have made some move on the flop.
Welcome back to the Czech Republic and the beautiful city of Prague. There's been a fair bit of poker action so far, which included our first casualty. Spaniard Raul Maestro was short-stacked at the start of play and eventually went out to Frederick Nugard's flush. Konstantinos Alexiou has a chip lead now of almost $1 million.
Well, look, we described the guy's play as unconventional and unpredictable, but it's working for him. He's confusing everyone else at the table. Blinds up, by the way, 10, 20,000. And it seems that a player has exposed his hand accidentally.
Thank you.
Not yet.
Ooh, I love this Chiriani. He's come as a professor from Hogwarts.
Well, I hope you've noticed that he's not the only player at the final table wearing a scarf. His fellow countryman, Salvatore Bonavena, is wearing one of the woolly variety.
Well, the Italians love a scarf, you know. They both turned up on a Vespa.
But it's silk versus wool. Which side are you going to come down on?
Fight. Only way to find out.
Well, just the blinds.
Should say that Bonavena is wearing that scarf in honour of Dario Minieri, who, of course, always wears a woolly scarf.
Yeah, Bonavena says that his dream is to win an EPT title with Dario Minieri. Quite what he means by with. Disturbing idea.
Yeah, this is not a team game. So, Bonavena and Alexiou going to the flop here. Ace-8 against Jack-9.
Flop is 10 of hearts, 3 of clubs, 7 of spades. Salvatore first.
Well, if Bonavena checks it, then... oh, he's not going to. Alexiou could make a move with the middle pin draw.
Gonna bet out 100,000.
Yeah, if he wanted to make it something like... oh, he's just called, has he? What a quirky style, this Alexiou. Quirky. Wouldn't have minded if he wants to make it, you know, maybe 300,000 with the draw, but... Now they each want the other to make a pair. Bonavena's got to bet again. No, he didn't do it. You see, Bonavena, he made the continuation bet on the flop, but firing the next 2 bullets just seemed a little elusive for him.
Is he going to make the hero call with ace-high?
I don't think so. I mean, he's just seen Alexiou make a very weird value bet with a jack when it was something like 3rd pair, which means he could be doing this with a 10. You know, in some situations you might read that board and think, well, the guy can't have anything, I'm going to call with ace-high. But Alexiou has shown that he'll bet 3rd pair on the river. I think the Italian has to throw it away.
And that's what he does. Alexiou will consolidate his chip lead after that hand. So on the next hand, it'll be Francesco Chiriani who's under the gun. 53 years old, lives in Mileto, and playing poker seriously for 3 years, and says he makes a decent amount of money in cash games.
I'd like to put that claim to the test.
He's not going to play this hand. Andrew Chen will probably play these 10s.
Yeah, Chen's got about $500,000 in chips, so he can play this hand a little bit creatively if he wants.
Salvatore will pass. Constantino. Over to Nasser in the small blind.
Round to the blinds. King Jack for Nazir Al Nazir.
How much do you have? 200?
Yeah, that's a re-raising hand from the button. He could do that, put the pressure on. I mean, Andrew Chen hasn't played that many hands, so it probably isn't nothing. But he can absolutely legitimately re-raise with a King Jack.
Nasser's going to re-raise all in.
All-in re-raise.
I like it. I like that play. Yeah, I mean, he gets called, but I don't think he's done anything wrong. It's unfortunate that his opponent's got 10s and will call.
Good luck.
The classic race, the pocket pair against the 2 overcards.
Come on, El Nazir. I like that guy. I hope he wins.
He's the player at risk. He's all in here.
Let's see the flop, please.
And the flop brings another 10, although it does give El Nazir the diamond draw.
Diamond required.
10-4 deuce, 2 diamonds. Andrew is still in the lead with 3 10s.
Tell you what, they're always exciting, these races. They're never straightforward, never simple.
Oh, praying for a diamond now.
It's got to be a diamond that doesn't pair the board for El Nazir to survive. It doesn't come.
Oh, I'm really sorry to see him go.
Andrew Chen will eliminate Nazir El Nazir.
Good luck, man.
Nice gracious exit. Good luck.
And he'll make his way over to the casino cage and collect 99,500 euros. That's what 7th place pays.
For the hands that followed, it was much of the same. Chen ploughed on with his mighty comeback, taking 2 big pots from Konstantinos and Frederick, propelling himself up into 3rd place. What a performance. It just goes to show you should never give up. Let's have a look at some of these players' chip positions at the start of play yesterday. Newgard was strong chip leader, in fact, but Massimo, Francesco and Salvatore were in the bottom 10, with Salvatore sitting dead last in 32nd place with just 36k. Who'd have thought they'd all make it into the top 6?
I have to say, I've mentioned it before, I'm going to mention it again, I am worried about Massimo De Cicco's chips. He's got them in a single big tower, and I am worried he's going to knock them over and accidentally bet all in.
Race.
I never really mind. I think as long as you're betting all in, you can't be doing anything that wrong. If he knocks them over and accidentally calls all in, then he's got a problem.
As much as we want comedy moments on the EPT, for his sake, I hope it doesn't happen.
Now, this is a very similar situation to what we just saw. King 10 of clubs, very like King Jack of diamonds. It's a good all-in re-raising hand from the button. The opponent doesn't have to be so strong. I think he's going to make the raise.
How come I always have good hands against you, but not good enough?
Wow. No, he's read it right. Good play there from Newgard. Good play.
Showing respect to Ciriani.
Unfortunately. Now we know that Alexiou loves to re-raise early with 1 jack. 2 jacks he doesn't like as much. He'd rather just call.
So heads up to the flop.
Ciriani's getting respect basically because he played so few hands. I mean, both of those two played as though he had something, which he does. You know, it's correctly read, but Alexiou now, if he was waiting to see whether an ace came, it didn't.
Whoa! He pushes 1.9 million into a pot of about 100,000.
No, it's silly because if you put Ciriani on a big hand pre-flop, which he must have done to flat call, if it was aces, kings, queens, he's going to call immediately.
This glass for all.
And if it isn't, he's going to...
Oh, he's put on his special all-in glasses.
Look, it's the Greek Jackarama.
I'm better. I saw in my cards.
Set. Set.
No. What is a set?
3 of a kind.
Set 3 high, 3.
Yeah, that's right.
He seemed to be worried, Alexiou, that he'd sort of misled the man into thinking he had a set. Yes. Oh, no, I don't have that. It's all right. You're allowed to mislead people in poker. It's the object of the game.
Ciriani's thinking I should have brought some all-in glasses with me.
I don't know what Ciriani is thinking, actually. That it's a total bluff. I mean, he's got a backdoor flush draw, but he can't be thinking of calling, surely. Nearly 2 million. Obviously, not to him. It's only 500,000 to him, but he can't call with that. Surely, no pair. I guess he may think the Greek has some kind of draw. I mean, flush draw, straight draw, that they are there on the board.
If you look me,
he has to
I look.
pass.
Franco is going to pass.
Do you want to look me?
Oui, vederle. What? Ice queen.
You lose.
Sure. Franco says he has ace queen. Konstantinos will show 2 jacks.
Nice honest chat between the two of them. Jacks shown by Alexiou. It's like a coffee clatch.
Like a what?
A coffee clatch, you know, a sort of ladies' coffee morning.
I see. We're talking of chat. Let's go over to Kara because she's caught up with an Italian who hasn't made the final table.
It's yet another EPT cash for Dario Minieri. Well done, first of all, on another cash.
Thanks a lot.
How many does that make it?
I made 2 cash this year, and this is the 5th cash in the EPT.
Yeah, and it's early on in the season still. Now we're talking about our final table here. We've got a large Italian contingent on the final table, and they seem to be having like a brilliant time. They seem to be maybe one of the nations that gives the most enthusiasm when they celebrate. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's true. We're very passionate. We are Latin, and we have the half of the field of Italian players.
Yeah. So is it exciting for you to be watching this as well, hoping for the Italians to win?
Yeah, this is very funny. I'm doing the commentary, and it's so funny to be very passionate when they win a hand.
So what is it about the Italians that they seem to be the most passionate about poker?
Because we come from the world of football, and we usually say always yes when we win. We are very passionate. That's the point. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the tables and see exactly how passionate they're getting.
Well, Dario not wearing his trademark orange and brown scarf today, so Bonavena wearing this nice blue scarf as a tribute. Ace Queen, he raises to 68,000.
62? 68. 68,000 to raise. That's going to get it folded all the way around to Franco in the big blind.
Squeeze that 8. It's a jack.
No, Ciriani hasn't shown it.
in.
Wow.
He announces re-raise, all in.
They keep doing it, James. They keep playing back at Bonavena when he's got a big hand. Do they not realise this is not a guy who's usually bluffing? We've seen him play ace-8 and a pair of 2s this whole tournament. Other than that, it's been aces, kings, queens.
And you said you wanted to see a fight between the scarves. Vicky, we have a scarf off.
We do, but that thick woolen scarf is going to prove more powerful than the flimsy little beige one. I don't know why Ciriani made this move against that player.
Bonavena's explaining that he has to make the call here. I mean, he's got ace queen.
Ciriani says he's annoyed with him for calling, but where was friendship when he re-raced him a jack-8? No, they weren't friends then.
No friends at the poker table. Every man for himself. But there's the 8 for Ciriani.
Franco has taken the lead with a pair of
So now Bonavena needs an ace or a queen or running clubs.
Let's see the turn card, please.
Ciriani is, of course, the player at risk.
The turn is the 10 of diamonds.
Big favourite now, Ciriani.
Franco needs to dodge an ace or a queen.
Just an ace or a queen. If he can dodge those cards, he doubles up. And that's what'll happen.
And there's no justice. No justice in this game. Well, I wonder whether there'll be any more chat later about what great friends they are.
Lots of Italians watching from the rail, of course. They want an Italian to win it. Which Italian, though? We've got 3 of them. 50% of the final table.
3 Italians at once, like my happiest dreams. My happiest poker dreams, I'd like to stress.
Lines up to 15 and 30,000. Action on the fin, Frederick Nugar.
Raise.
72,000.
72,000. Salvatore will pass over to Konstantinos.
It's tricky for Nugar. He's got this very unpredictable player immediately after him.
Massimo will pass the button back to
It's
Franco.
annoying because Nugar has been quite a sort of flexible, creative player, but it's difficult when he's being out-pipped by the man on his left.
I love the way he squeezes and never gets what he's looking for behind.
Well, he only had an 8 anyway. What's he going to squeeze? At best, it's another 8. It's not a brilliant hand.
Heads up to this flop between Frederick and Konstantinos. Well, let's see that flop, please.
Oh, he's hit quads!
Not only has he hit quads,
but Nugar's got top pair.
I mean, this Alexei, honestly, you're not supposed to flat call with a pair to try and flop a set because it's too unlikely. Look at that. Set, quads, bang, bang.
Oh, Nugar's going to get himself into all sorts of bother here.
85,000
Flat called by Alexio on the flop. The turn
it's the jack of clubs.
Is a jack.
He's trapping Nugar. He's not passing this hand. He's really not. Yeah, I think he wanted to make sure there was no spade on the turn.
130,000.
He's drawing absolutely dead. Oh,
oh, look at the act.
I wonder. Look at this. I haven't seen a Greek performance like this since the old days of the Olympics when they wrestled in the sunshine. I mean, what a performance. He thinks he calls. Now, of course, both of them hoping that it's a red card on the end. Nugar for the wrong reasons.
River, please. River's the deuce of diamonds.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for the Greek.
He's going to check to...
Nugar checks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I take this?
Yes, no limit hold'em. You can bet what you want.
I can talk.
I think Nugar's got a flat call now. There's no need to raise, but it's not his fault, Nugar.
Oh. Greek celebrations, the Finn crushed.
Plates smashed in the back.
Welcome back to the Czech Republic and the EPT Prague final table, where we've just lost Finland's Fredrik Nygård in 6th place. It was Alexio's quad sixes which really did the damage, and he found himself out the very next hand to Andrew Chen. Fredrik takes home 130,000 euros. 4 to go then until we crown our 5th champion of Season 5.
And the blinds are up again, 20-40.
He's going to pass. Salvatore announces raise.
Bonavena, ace king of diamonds.
No doubt somebody will decide to move all in with Jack 3. Or that's what keeps happening to Bonavena. Yeah, I re-raise. Call.
Alexio moves all in with ace queen.
Well, to be fair, that is a proper hand.
Massimo will pass.
That is a proper hand. He's unlucky.
He'll pass as well. Back to Salvatore.
And win the tournament and go out. One of them.
Capito.
Translate.
You win at this end, you win at this tournament.
Is he thinking of passing?
Ace king?
Understand?
You ace king?
We kind of shouldn't
You
be
have
saying
an ace
that
king?
kind of thing too. I don't care.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Like
I think that we have ace king.
It's
Come on.
half the
What?
time they do and half the time they don't. So
I have
You know, Constantine.
Frustrated,
Or, wait, not
Alexio, because he simply wants to tell the man his hand.
At this point,
And he doesn't have the words.
he can't. It's
He's really thinking of passing Bonavena? I mean,
I tell you what's interesting, because Alexio said, I think you have ace king. And he said it with such confidence.
none of that.
And Bonavena's thinking, okay, if you've put me on ace king and you're prepared to move all in against me, you must have me beaten.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You still need to play with that hand. Even if he does, I mean, the guy's got him beaten if he's got any pair, but I think ace king suited.
Well, he shows that he had ace queen. He's going to celebrate taking down that pot with not one but 2 drinks.
Alexio continued to dominate the table, extending his monster chip lead, while Andrew Chen seized his opportunity to get rid of a short stack.
it's a 9. Let's have a big round of applause for Franco. He's going to finish 5th place, EPT Prague.
Finally, with the chips to make waves, Chen didn't waste any time. He took $1 million off of Alexio in 2 hands and knocked the Greek off the top spot.
Incredible, isn't it, that Andrew Chen, the 20-year-old from Toronto, started this final table as the short stack and now has the chip lead with about 3 million.
All in.
He raises all
Bonavena all in with ace
Constantino
queen.
announces call.
Immediate call
Massimo folds the small.
from Konstantinos Alexiou with ace 10.
Andrew really reluctantly folds the big. Salvatore shows ace of spades, queen of diamonds. Konstantinos has ace of diamonds, 10 of hearts. Salvatore is the covered player.
Bonavena
He's all
looking
in.
incredibly worried.
Has him covered. All right, let's see the flop.
Got your opponent dominated. Calm down.
Flop is ace of hearts, 6 of spades.
Just got to avoid a 10.
Or a heart, actually, now. Doesn't want to see any backdoor horrors.
Jack of
That's
spades.
okay.
Just the 10.
Let's see the river, please.
Bonavena doubles up, much to the delight of all those Italians watching in the crowds.
Big tumble for Alexio as well. He was big chip leader just a few hands ago. Now he's under $1 million.
Yeah, down to about 785,000 in chips.
The Greeks have gone silent on the rail.
Four-handed play continues with blinds at 25.50.
He's going to pass over to Massimo.
And I'm pleased to see that Massimo has now put his chips in smaller stacks to ensure they don't tip over accidentally.
It's just because he's got more of them. Hello?
Andrew in the small blind.
How much do you have? So like 1.
About $1 million. About a third of what Chen's got.
Well, Chen wants to make it an amount that
Andrew's going to raise?
the Italian can re-raise.
Ah. It's Chen.
This is what he wants. He wants to size the bet so that the Italian can re-raise him. But of course,
I'm all in.
Wow.
Immediate call. Bonavena pushing with ace-5.
Well, I was going to say, but of course, this particular player would have to find a hand to do it. You won't do it with nothing, but done it with something very weak, ace-5.
And what a time to be caught making a move. A huge misstep for Bonavena. Although he's telling Chen there will be an ace.
Yeah, he seems confident the ace is coming.
He had every reason to be confident. There it is.
Oh, the humanity.
Chen has that look on his face that says, I've played so many hands of poker. I've seen this happen so many times.
Chen is revolted by this turn of events.
River card, please.
Two double up in a row for Salvatore Bonavena, who's now got more than 2 million in chips. In fact, he's retaken the chip lead from Andrew Chen.
Here with poker pro William Thorson. He's a regular on the European poker circuit. We're short-handed here. What do these guys need to remember in order to win this from this stage?
Yeah, they need to know they can't wait for big hands anymore. They have to put a lot of pressure and yeah, go with a read.
Yeah.
So
we're looking for some really aggressive play here then.
I've been watching some from the TVs here. It seems like Chen, he's playing like that. He's taking advantage of the situation and seems like he's playing really good.
Okay, well that is an opinion there from William Thorson. We're going to keep an eye on Andrew Chen and we're going to send you back to the final table.
Raise.
Bonavena's on a rush, isn't he? King-Queen now.
I tell you what I like about Bonavena, though. He's absolutely changed gear. I mean, in the first couple of episodes of the Prague EPT, we were saying the guy's such a rock, he's waiting for big hands, but he's moved up a gear, even sticking it in with ace-5. It's not his fault the guy's got kings.
Alexio's moved all in.
Well, it's a big all-in. Bonavena should throw the king-queen away. Unless he's feeling lucky. If he's feeling lucky and he wants to gamble, then make the call. But for the amount, he should pass.
But also, he knows what Alexio is like. The guy has shown so many strange hands, shown so many funky moves.
It's true. If it's Jack-7, then he definitely wants to call. But $1 million on top as an all-in.
He's called it. So Alexio, marginal favourite, with 5 cards to come.
Well, it's like a good news, bad news joke for Bonavena. Bad news, it's not Jack-7. Good news, it's not ace-king. Good flop for the threes.
Remember, Alexio needs those threes to hold up. He needs to dodge a king or a queen on the river. Bonavena has been on an amazing run. Is it about to come to an end, though? Is he about to take a backward step? No, he's hit his king on the river. And the Italians go crazy. You'd think he'd won the tournament the way they're behaving.
He's looking in good shape to win the tournament. He's changed gear, he's getting lucky. He's just knocked out another player.
Konstantinos Alexio, 4th place finisher. 3 remain. And the singing has started. Of course, the Italians make up 2/3 of the remaining players. Andrew Chen, the Canadian, sandwiched between Salvatore and Massimo.
To be fair, it's further for the Canadian supporters to come, Prague, even though they cope better with the weather.
Massimo says all in, Andrew passes.
Well, one of them will probably make the call with 4s. He's obviously feeling lucky at the moment. He called with king-queen because he felt that the wind was with him. And if he's still feeling it, he'll make the call. There it is.
Massimo has ace-10 of spades. Salvatore has pocket 4s red.
Asso 10.
Massimo is the all-in player. He has ace of spades, 10 of spades.
Well, let's see if Bonavena is truly immortal at this point.
DeChico's the one at risk, of course. And he's hit his ace. Oh, my.
See, the Italians are cheering, but it's win-win for them, isn't it?
Oh, no high fives yet, he's saying. Oh dear, they're having a bit of a Barney, Vicky.
Massimo needs to dodge the 2 remaining 4s in the deck and running hearts.
Either that or they're reciting love poetry to each other.
Let's see the turn card, please.
Bonavena wanted to shake hands. De Chico refused. Because, of course, the hand's not over, and I kind of understand that.
Yeah, that's fair enough, that's fair enough. The 4 still wins the pot for Bonavena. It isn't correct to shake hands before the pot is over.
Calm down. It's only a game. There may be hundreds of thousands of euros at stake, but it's poker. Come on.
Let's see the river card, please.
Now the hand is over. Now De Chico knows he's won and doubled up. They can now shake hands.
No, he doesn't want to now. No, now I don't want your hand.
Oh, it's all getting a bit emotional.
A bit of needle now, isn't there? Handbags at dawn.
Look, even the spectators aren't getting on anymore.
I'd say this is like watching a football match, but I don't know, is it?
Massimo first.
Tempers calmed as we move on to the next hand.
He's going to pass Andrew in the small blind.
Andrew Chen.
He's going to call.
Just going to limp with the Queen 7.
Yeah, well, the Italian should actually raise with any hand once there's been a limp, but fair enough. Odds against. Look at a blessed, absolutely blessed Bonavena.
3 of spades.
He's supposed to hit a 3, is he? Queen 3 gets King, Queen 7.
He's going to bet 75,000.
No, that's no good. That won't get through. This is perfect for Bonavena. Not only does he go in front, but it's quite an easy flop. It's not like it's Queen Jack 3. Quite an easy flop to know you're in front.
Salvatore's going to call 75,000.
Flat call.
75,000 apiece.
Dangerous. Not a lot of cards he wants to see on the turn
Ace
with
of hearts.
Queen 3. But he may be able to figure out that if Chen was holding an ace, he'd have raised pre-flop, so that may be the closest thing to a blank. Had it come the 7 of spades, it's not so easy.
That noise, by the way, is coming from a side event in the casino.
They've just announced the buffet is open.
Andrew's going to bet out 180,000.
Meanwhile, in this event, at this final table, Chen has just made another bluff.
I think Bonavena can figure out that Chen doesn't have the ace because he would have raised pre-flop. He may have a king. He may have a king.
He's going to make the call of 180,000.
Of course he doesn't. You know, we know that he doesn't, but from Bonavena's point of view.
Well, here's the thing. Chen has been called on the flop and on the turn. Is he going to fire again on the river if a blank comes?
Andrew's first.
Well, he's reaching for chips.
I'm not faulting Chen here. I think he's played this really bravely. And it's not like Bonavena hasn't played it like a draw. Bonavena's the one who really should have raised it on the flop with the 2 pair. I like Chen's gutsy style. Unfortunately, I think he may have run into somebody who's going to call him.
You say that, but from what we've seen of Bonavena, does he have it in him to make this call here?
I think he might. If it was a spade, no. But I think what Bonavena has got to think is either Chen had a king all along, or he doesn't have anything. If he had an ace, he'd have raised pre-flop. If he had a pocket pair, he'd have raised pre-flop. Making the call. Great play from Chen and great call from Bonavena.
Oh, the Italians are loving that call.
Full rub down given to Andrew Chen. Full roar of triumph in the Canadian's face.
The next 30 hands saw Massimo chip away at Salvatore until he bumped himself up into second place, leaving a frustrated Andrew Chen in third.
King Queen. That'll be enough for Andrew Chen in this situation.
All in.
Andrew, raise.
All in for 1.2 million.
Moment, please.
Oh, we have to wait for
A moment.
Salvatore to look at his cards.
I call.
And call.
So, Chen at risk. But not a horrible spot for him. 42% chance.
It's okay. Only one overcard. Yeah, the problem is that the fates are with Bonavena. That's what it feels like. Bonavena's making the right decisions. He's hitting the right cards. It feels like you can't beat him at the moment.
You get that sense, don't you, that the momentum is with a certain player, that they're just bouncing cards off the wall.
There's the Italians chanting for a 4 to make a straight. Oh! That's it. That is absolutely it. Chen
Shot,
drawing dead.
And it shall come.
Yeah, it's true. If it comes at a 6, then they'll chop it, but no.
So Andrew Chen is our third place finisher. We're down to 2. The heads-up battle is about to begin. Italy against Italy. One thing I can tell you for certain is we're going to have our first ever Italian winner on the European Poker Tour. But which of these two guys will it be?
Welcome back to the Hilton Prague, where we are heads up at the EPT final table. They've enjoyed the support of the crowd throughout this tournament, and now Italians Massimo and Salvatore must face off for the champion's title. Salvatore currently has a 3-1 chip lead, but this is poker. Anything can happen.
From Italy, Massimo Di Ciccio.
So Massimo Di Ciccio and Salvatore Bonavena take their seats ahead of this heads-up battle. And what a fantastic atmosphere in the casino in Prague. I can't remember anything else like this on the EPT, Vicky.
There's often a great spirit around the final, you know, it depends.
Come on, we've never had singing like this before. Oh, passionate people, the Italians.
No, I'll give you that. The singing is something new.
Dario Minieri watching from the rail. Blinds 40,000 and 80,000, no ante when we're heads up. Action on Bonavena. Of course, has the chip lead as this heads-up battle begins.
Oh, he just limped. Bonavena.
Yeah, I thought he was going to raise there with the Queen 10, but allows Di Ciccio to see the free flop.
Oh dear. Nice big pot coming the way of Di Ciccio.
Absolutely, Bonavena with top pair.
Interesting
2
check.
pairs for Di Ciccio. Yeah, they both check there.
Bonavena's check's the interesting one. I mean, Di Ciccio, well, obviously, he's trapping. Bonavena's not quite strong enough to check. I wonder if their luck is moving away from him, moving away from Bonavena now.
125.
Strange.
Raise.
Yeah, he must raise. We can see that Bonavena's behind, but he can't possibly think that.
Is this the point where Di Ciccio pushes?
He doesn't need to.
300.
Problem is he's first to speak, so it doesn't really matter. He can flat call here, but he won't be able to resist betting the river, so...
I am all in.
He might as well go all in, and there's the call, and absolutely Bonavena totally entitled to believe his top pair is good. It's not, though.
Massimo shows 10 deuce, he got 2 pairs.
Bonavena can, of course, still win the hand with a queen,
a 7,
or 4. He's got a lot of outs. Well, a fair few anyway. Still 4-1 underdog.
It's a 5.
And sure enough,
it's no good. So Bonavena should have raised it up pre-flop, you see. That gets rid of the 10 deuce. Queen 10 is neither strong enough nor weak enough to limp, really.
That's where the mistake was made on that hand, and it has cost Salvatore, because now Massimo is sitting there with more than 2 million in chips. 2.3 million to be precise. Salvatore with 3.3 million.
That's another raising hand, heads up.
Raise.
There we go.
Massimo's going to raise.
Mess about with limping.
180,000. Has Bonavena looked at his hand yet?
Re-raise.
Obviously.
All in.
Wow. Huge bets. They don't need to be all in at this point. They really need to. I mean, obviously, Tichico's going to have to throw it away. He needs a king high. So back ace jack, you know, it's strong. He doesn't need to raise it quite that much. Perhaps he's just playing power poker.
Oh, the Italians are on the edge of their seats. They're so excited to have a champion here in Prague.
Raise.
7, 8 of diamonds.
200,000 more, so there's 280,000.
There we go. Never mind the other card, he's got the ace. He can move all in, you see, because, yeah, he can move all in because he's the chip. And call? Oh, no, he just called. No, don't just call. Why?
It's too late now.
You can't flat call with an ace, you can't. I mean...
Well, Bonavena has got top pair.
I am all in.
Chico has a straight draw and he's moved all in with it.
Call.
And Bonavena's insta-called. This could be it, Vicky.
Yeah, I don't really understand the flat call before the flop. I mean, call to trap if you hit an ace maybe, but see that flop, I mean, you can make a straight.
Yeah, I mean, Chico is looking for a 5 for the straight. He's looking for an ace for a better pair than 8s.
No change.
Still needs a 5 or an ace, or we have a champion here in Prague. Imagine the noise the crowds are going to make when a blank comes on the river and Salvatore Bonavena wins the tournament. The first ever Italian player to win a European Poker Tour event.
Oh, massive congratulations, Salvatore. Well done. Wrapped in the flag here. We knew that it was going to be a massive celebration, whichever one of you won, but huge congratulations. Can you ask him how he's feeling right now for
Dice
me?
che sapeva che ci sarebbe stata una grande celebrazione. Che cosa senti adesso?
E adesso è una gioia indescrivibile. Mi viene da piangere, però penso che sarà ancora più bello domani, dopodomani, quando ti risvegli e vedi che hai fatto una cosa che i sogni si avverano.
He said he's incredibly happy. He said he's very, very happy. Can't believe on that. He knows that in the next days it's gonna be even more incredible. And he said that it's never happened. An Italian won a big tournament on a big European Poker Tour, and he's been the first one. And he feels so good because it's so sick. It's so happy.
What a brilliant result for the Italians, with 3 players on the final table, over 1.3 million euros going back to Italy in prize money, and of course, a champion's title. Yes, another EPT is over, and Salvatore has made history today at the EPT Prague final table. He's our first ever Italian winner and goes home 774,000 euros richer. Now that's something to smile about.